Social media. We have all heard of it. Many of us use it. There's many different ways to use social media. For example, businesses use it to go out into the community and say, hey, this is going on, this is the deal going on, or we're having a big sale. Many people use it to keep in touch with friends and family when they're long distances away. But when looking at these, we never think about the negatives of social media. Personally, I've dealt with many negatives of social media, and I'm sure many of you out there have as well. Personally, I've dealt with cyberbullying with myself, friends, and family, and I've seen how it can really affect an individual and just take them to the lowest point in their lives. And I'm sure many people out there can say they've felt the same thing, but there's also people out there that have no clue what I'm talking about. So that's why I want to bring the three main issues with social media. That going off of cyberbullying, how it affects mental health, and how it can also raise depression rates. So to start off with, we can go with cyberbullying. And there's many ways to look at this and just kind of think about how social media never really shows cyberbullying. And of course it's not. Individuals are going to personally message other people with fake accounts or themselves, or post comments on pictures, or have posts and just say some mean things. Something that people don't really say in person, but it's just so much easier to say over a screen. But people also say that there's so many positive sides of social media. Like, for example, in Lynn's article in 2020, social media has changed the lives in modern society. He says that customers appreciate knowing when they post comments on pages that's not an automated message. So you're just not getting a message that's sent out to everyone. It's a personalized message to you from someone else, and that everyone likes that. Everyone enjoys it. What we can also look at is that 92% of adolescents and young adults use social media. And from what it said in Novas and Seymour's article, social media and young adults, 25% of that 92% find social media to be negative. So even with the main demographic using social media think that it's negative, kind of shows that there's not much positive going on other than what some individuals see and what individuals see fit for it. Like, for example, 1 in 10 boys are being cyberbullied, and 1 in 5 girls are being cyberbullied. It may seem like that's a small group, but when looked at the community as a whole and everyone out there using social media, it's more than we really think it is. And going along with that, mental health is also a very big factor going along with this. So, easily things can be said on social media. You're not skinny. Your nose is crooked. Your smile is crooked. Anything of the sort, it can really just affect us and make us look at ourselves differently and be like, well, what's wrong with me? It's also the same thing with the fear of missing out. You see someone post something on social media and be like, well, why wasn't I invited? Do they not like me? Did they not enjoy my presence? And it can also be seen with the highlight reel effect, which is mainly just people making their lives look better than it is and making people look at it and say, why is my life like that? And it's shown in Morgan's 2017 article, the highlight reel effect relating to interesting people. If given a platform, people will almost always opt to represent themselves in the best way possible. So with people representing themselves the best way possible, it may make other people think, well, why is my life that good? Why am I not as popular as she is, or he, or anything of the sort? Now finally, what we can come into is how it raises depression rates. And we can start this with Miller's 2018 article, Does Social Media Cause Depression? Teenagers and young adults who spend the most time on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter show they have substantially higher rates in depression. Now, that's just a quote. But what's also seen in that article is that it said that 13% of people who use social media every day have higher depression rates, has risen to now 66% of people who use social media more than once a day have depression or show depressive symptoms. Now, that's just a number. It could be like, well, social media's been around for a long time, of course it's going to raise. But what we can see is between the years of 2010 and 2015, it's risen 33%. Now with those dates, what we can look at is that Snapchat started in 2012, and Facebook also grew in popularity in 2012. That's right in the middle of those 5 years, and with that rise in depression, shows that more popularity in social media has risen. And from the same article from Miller, we can also see, she also says that smartphones were introduced in 2007, and by 2015, 92% of teens and young adults own a smartphone. So we can look around and I can ask, who has a smartphone? I'm sure many people would raise their hand and say, well, I have a smartphone. Not many people have a flip phone or a slide phone, and if you do, you're not part of the general people who have one, but that's okay if you don't. It just kind of shows how social media has risen with smartphones and technology rising too. Social media is just so easy to come to these days, and it's just making these rates grow higher and higher. But in conclusion, there's many things wrong with social media. There's many bad sides, but I've just informed you of 3 basic ones that can easily be fixed. Just knowing about these problems and being able to inform friends or family members who are having a hard time, or even our kids in the future, can really make a difference for everyone using social media, and eventually just not make it everything completely go away, but make these problems just at lower rates. Less people being bullied, less depression rates, and less mental health issues. Just knowing these and being able to spread it around can really make a difference. So thank you for listening.